Hello and welcome to our English class.
Have a brilliant day to everyone. This is Janelle Lopez representing Group 7. Today, we are going to discuss the structure of negation, split structure, parallel structure, and elements of sentence. Firstly, what is negation? Negation is a statement that cancels out or denies other statement or action, or it can be described as a refusal or denial of something. If your friend thinks you owe him 1 million peso and you say that you don't, your statement is a negation. And when you want to express the opposite meaning of a particular word or sentence, you can do it by inserting a negation. The first example of negation is 1. Negative words. The most common negative words are no and not. Other negative words include neither, never, nobody, none, nor, nothing, nowhere, and so on. Below are some good examples of sentences using negation. She's never been abroad. In this sentence, the negative word never is used. There were no newspapers left in the shop by 1 o'clock. The negative word no is used in the sentence and it negates. None of my cousins live near us. On the other hand, none is the negative word used in this sentence. 2. Negative prefixes and suffix. First of all, let's review a little bit what is a prefix. A prefix is a little part of a word that comes before the main word, can come before an adjective, before an adverb, before a noun, before a verb. Prefix comes before a word which carries a negative meaning. These are examples of prefixes most commonly used in negation. The prefixes the, this, im, mis, and so on. Examples. What he said was very impolite. We used the negative prefix im before the adjective word polite. There was a misunderstanding about who should sign the contract. The negative prefix mis is used before the noun understanding. He was very disrespectful to the teacher. In here, the negative prefix this is used before the adjective word respectful. While suffix is a letter or group of letters added to the end of a word or root serving to form a new word or functioning as an inflectual ending. Hence, a negative suffix comes at the end of a word which carries a negative meaning. Less is the most common suffix for negation. Examples. Too many people are homeless in this city. We just have endless meetings at work. They are so boring. This new printer is useless. It's always breaking down. Three. Negative adverbs. Negative adverbs are used to modify the meaning of a verb or entire clause in a negative way. Examples of adverbs, specifically frequency adverbs: few, hardly, rarely, scarcely, and seldom. We can use them to refer to things that almost never happen or do not happen very often. They have a negative meaning. We use them without not. And it can be used to make negative or negative-like statements. Examples. There are rarely ducks in this pond. We seldom hear any noise at night.
This is Socorro Amar Marine and I will be the one to continue the example of negation. Negative construction are formed differently depending on whether the verb is an auxiliary verb, be, have, well, can, and etc., or an ordinary verb. If the verb is an auxiliary, the negation is constructed with not or with the construction and apostrophe t after the word, and without the auxiliary verb do, does, did. Like for example, she cannot know the truth. The auxiliary verb here is can is added by the negation word not, so she cannot know the truth. Another example, I am not ready yet. So, the negation word here is not. If the verb is an ordinary verb, the auxiliary verb do, does, did is used to introduce negation. Like for example, he does not or doesn't play rugby. They didn't go to the theater yesterday. Number 5. Two negatives. In standard English, it does not have two negatives in the same clause, or double negatives. Double negatives are wrong and that you shouldn't use them. Like for example, there was no one in the office, so I left a message. You will not say, there wasn't no one in the office, so I left a message. In this sentence, there wasn't no one, you use the double negatives, which are wasn't and no, and these are wrong. Another example, nobody likes to think they are worthless. You will not say, nobody doesn't like to think they are worthless, because in this sentence you use double negatives, which are nobody and doesn't. And don't forget, standard English does not have two negatives in the same clause, or double negatives. Number 6. Negation emphasizing. When we want to emphasize something negative, we often use at all. We normally use at all immediately after the word or phrase we are emphasizing. Like for example, there's nothing at all left in the fridge. I'd rather not be here at all. And don't forget, when we want to emphasize something negative, we often use at all.
Hi, this is Marian May Malagat. Today I will going to discuss about splitting up structure of sentences. And today we are going to learn how to split complex sentences into short, simple sentences. Splitting of sentences is opposite to joining of sentences. In this, we have to break up or split a complex sentence into two or more simple sentences. There are also cases of splitting of simple sentences with participle, infinitive, and other phrases. For example, I give him a pen which was costly. When you split it, it would be I give him a pen or it was costly. Next example is I don't know why he said this. It would be he said this or I don't know the reason. Next example, he could not come as he was busy. It would be he was busy or he could not come. Last example, the boy said that he was innocent. It would be the boy was innocent or he said so. We must remember that for splitting sentences, first we must mark the clauses and then make subclauses independent by omitting subordinating linkers and inserting subjects or other words wherever necessary.
Let's move on to parallel structure. I am Ana May Amigable and I will be discussing the parallel structure. So, what is parallel structure? Commonly, we are familiar with the word parallel, right? In mathematics, we can also hear this word. But in terms of grammar, in terms of English, what does it mean? So, the first definition of parallel structure is parallel structure in English grammar is the two or more elements of a sentence or series of sentences having the same grammatical structure. Take note of that. Parallel structure is having the same grammatical structure. This means using the same pattern of words to show that two or more words or ideas are of equal importance. Secondly, same pattern of words. If we notice same grammatical structure, same pattern of words, right, there is always the word same. Next, lastly, words and phrases within a sentence should not only match in structure, but also in tense. Writers use parallel structure to add clarity to their writing, make it easier to understand, and show that their writing is structurally and grammatically correct. Now, I will be showing you a basic representation of how parallel structure work. Okay, based on these pictures and the definition of parallel structure, which among the pictures are the same? But for an easier question, which one is different? Of course, the dog, because all of the three remaining pictures are humans, while the one is dog, which is an animal, so dog is the different. Reflect to parallel structure, only the same should be left. How about this one? Quite confusing, right? Analyze the picture, which one is different. Based on the concept, parallel structure, analyze which are the same. You should know what is the basic thing being referred, being inferred within the totality of the sentence. Which one of that? If your answer is this, you are correct. Why? If you notice, all of them are cute. I mean, all of them are babies. Baby cat, baby puppy, and a baby human. While the one is an adult. So, don't be confused. The only idea there in the concept is you just adjust in the totality of what's being referred, being inferred inside the sentence. The majority should be the same. They should be equal. For instance, Ryan likes swimming, hiking, and to ride a motorcycle. This sentence is not parallel or incorrect. As you can notice, there is something in the sentence when you read. In parallel structure, the most focus in the concept is the same idea, same tenses of verb. When you can notice, Ryan likes what? Swimming, hiking, and to ride a motorcycle. Although semantically, we can understand its meaning, but the structure is not the same. Why? Because if you can notice, Ryan likes what? Swimming. If you notice, it ends in ing. Hiking, ing. Then, to ride, it should be a common sense. You should analyze. If all uses ing, so it should be ing word we should use. I am not saying that you should not apply what are the type of words used in the sentence. What I mean is, this is just the basic in order you to understand the basic design of parallel structure or how it works. So the correct structure is this. Ryan likes swimming, hiking, and riding a motorcycle. Basically, we need to remove the word to because to in grammar rule is the infinite rule. So, ride plus ing equals riding. Ryan likes swimming, hiking, and riding a motorcycle. So, let's have the basic rule of parallel structure. The first rule, parallel structure should be used when elements are joined by coordinating conjunctions for, and, nor, but, or yet, so. So, this one, as you can see, I have provided here incorrect term, incorrect sentence, and the correct one. If we are to read the first sentence, I am allergic to the dog's hair and how it smells. So, basically, if the sentence is conjoined by coordinating conjunction of sentences, it should be parallel. In this sentence, we use conjunction and, so the sentence must be in parallel structure. So the correct one must be, I am allergic to the dog's hair and it smells. Another example, incorrect. Anna likes hiking, the rodeo, and to take afternoon naps. So the correct one must be, Anna likes hiking, attending the rodeo, and take afternoon naps. Number 2 rule, parallel structure should be used when writing elements in the form of a list or a series. For example, incorrect sentence, the class valued respect, honesty, and being on time in a teacher. If you can see the physical appearance of the sentence, respect, honesty, being on time, being on time makes it incorrect because it should be aligned to the word respect, honesty, which is a noun, and the correct one we use the word promptness. So it will become the class valued respect, honesty, and promptness in a teacher. Another example, incorrect sentence. Reading books, to play piano, and going to the theater are my favorite activities. The correct one. Reading books, playing the piano, and going to the theater are my favorite activities. Number 3. Parallel structure should be used when comparing or contrasting elements, like more than, better than, or better, etc. For example, incorrect. James enjoys reading more than to write. If you can notice, if you read it, there is something different. Because in parallel structure, it should use only one structure, in tense of verb. So, the word to write should be writing. James enjoys reading more than writing. Next, we have this incorrect sentence. To sing is better than dancing. To make it correct, it must be to sing is better than to dance, or singing is better than dancing.
I'm Crisme Castañeras, and I will discuss the elements of a sentence. Now, what is a sentence? Sentence is grammatically a complete idea, or the simplest and shortest definition of sentence could be: sentence is a group of words that conveys a complete meaning, and it consists of a subject and a predicate. What is a subject? All the sentences have a noun or pronoun component that is the doer of the action, and that is called the subject. And the rest part of the sentence is called the predicate. The predicate is the verb part of sentence that consists of verb and other words like object, complement, and adverbials. For example, the baby smiled. In the sentence, the baby is the subject and smiled is the predicate. In the sentence, the baby is the doer of the action and the rest of the part of the sentence is the predicate. A sentence is composed of 5 different elements. First, the subject, which is the doer of the action, verb, the action words, object, words which receives the action, complements, completes a given expression, and the last is adverbial, words that used as an adverb. These are basic elements of a sentence. Now, we will study these elements in detail with illustration and examples. Subject is usually a noun, a word that names a person, place, or thing, or it can be pronoun. Subject is a word or group of words that is the doer of the action. For example, Amor plays the guitar. Amor is the subject of the sentence. The subject can be considered as simple, compound, and complete subject. Simple subject are the main words or words in the complete subject. For example, a lovely girl is playing with her grandmother. The simple subject in the sentence is girl. Next, compound subject. Compound subject contains 2 or more subjects that have the same verbs. Example, a lovely girl and her brother are playing in the treehouse. The girl and the brother is a compound subject. When we say complete subject, it includes all the words that tell who or what the sentence is about. Like for example, a lovely girl is playing with her grandmother. A lovely girl is a complete subject in the sentence. The second element is verbs. Verb is considered as the second most important element in the sentence. It can be a word or group of words containing main verb or auxiliary verbs. Sentence that shows a single verb is the following. They laughed loudly. She ran fast. Example of main verb plus the auxiliary. She had finished her meal when we arrived. Had is the auxiliary verb or the helping verb, and finished is the main verb. Another example. They will be traveling to Hawaii next year. Will be is the helping verb and traveling is the main verb. Another element is the object. Object is a word or group of words which receives the action from the verbs. Objects is divided into three types, namely direct object, indirect object, and object of preposition. Direct object receives the action from the verb. It stands after the transitive verbs. Now, what is transitive verbs? Transitive verbs are a verb that needs objects. Example, a young girl is playing volleyball. In this sentence, volleyball is the direct object. Another example, my mother planted flowers. In this sentence, flowers is the direct object. Indirect object tells who the direct object is for or to. It is used with ditransitive verbs or verb that needs two objects, such as tell, buy, give, offer, etc. For example, my mother bought me a dictionary. The word both is a ditransitive verb because it needs two objects, me and a dictionary, where me is the indirect object and a dictionary is the direct object. Another example, my friend gave me an advice. Me is the indirect object and an advice is the direct object. The third type of object is object of preposition. The object of preposition stands after a preposition such as at, on, in, for, etc. Example, he is good at chess. She left her phone on the drawer. The fourth element of a sentence is complement. Complement is a word, phrase, or clause that is needed to complete a given expression. It completes the meaning of a subject or object. There are two types of complement: subject complement and object complement. Subject complement completes the meaning of the subject. They normally stand after the linking verbs. Example, Mr. Patterson is a businessman. In this sentence, the noun businessman is a subject complement because it completes the meaning of the subject. Next is object complement. Object complement completes the meaning of the object. They normally stand after the direct object. Example, the woman dyed her hair blonde. In this sentence, the word blonde is the object complement. The last element of sentence is the adverbial. An adverbial is a word or group of words that is used as an adverb in a sentence. The adverbial could be an adverb, adverb phrase, or prepositional phrase used as an adverb. Examples of adverb: he wakes up early. He has gone home. We will meet tomorrow. Examples of adverb phrase: they work very hard. They lived very far. She acted so carelessly. Examples of prepositional phrase used as an adverb. They are at a hotel. I'm going to stroll around. She wrote with red pen. That's all. I hope you have understood now the elements of a sentence.